When I first started this episode, it was my intention to take pictures of wildlife. That was the plan, but things just weren't working out. I was trying to be as stealthy as possible, and I even took my sweet time to set up shots and wouldn't even move for several minutes in hopes to get in a good spot for a chance at a photo. Then, of course, accidentally move without crouching. The final straw was when I was crouching for a long distance, hoping to happen upon wildlife. But that's when wildlife happened upon me and randomly spawned right behind me. I then slowly attempted to get next to the closest tree to use for photos, but of course, that backfired on me as well. I decided that until my stealthy armor is upgraded all the way by the fairy fountains, I won't try to do wildlife again. So starting over, I decided to take my photographic journey to the lovely and relaxing Lurelin Village. I chose Lurelin Village because I fell in love with this little place when I happened upon it early in my first Breath of the Wild playthrough, back when the game first came out. So I turned on my Pro HUD mode and began finding spots that really stuck out to me, starting with the entrance to this tropic village. And right as you enter Lurelin, you stumble upon this gorgeous view of their village, giving you a glimpse of the homes, sandy beach, lush palm trees filled with fruit, and the beautiful ocean. Inside the simple homes is a warm and quaint atmosphere that I desperately tried to capture in this first house, but just couldn't get the angle right. Plus I had rude homeowners getting in my way. Deciding to try my luck in a different home, I grabbed my supplies and stopped by the next house. As I did, I found the family dog resting under the house, and I knew I had to have them as a subject for one of my photos of the village. I set up a shot so I could get the home in the background while luring my new canine friend into frame. And like the good boy that he is, they stood by my side, ready to pose as I set up my desired angle. After shooting with this fur ball all throughout the day, I made my way into the home. I was being a total creep, but I still wanted to try and capture photos in the cozy homes. Still being creepy, I entered the home with the two kids sleeping as well, but this was exactly what I wanted to capture. The lantern giving off a warm glow while the rest of the home just felt cozy. It was just right. Next, I headed over to the village's hotel, but along the way, I found another chance to redeem myself at wildlife shots. I worked carefully to place my tripod down in the perfect spot while trying not to scare away the crab. This was it. It may not be a cute deer in a beautiful meadow, but I will take a crab in a night storm and settle with it. Finally feeling a little more satisfied with myself, I walked into the hotel and tried to find a good angle without using my tools. But of course, I wanted to explore more angles. I squeezed my equipment through the door and started playing with more angles, featuring the lantern and the keeper. After a few adjustments, I finally felt like I had found the right spot. And just like that, I was on to the next building. This building really caught my eye due to how much detail had been put into just books alone. Once again, I squeezed my equipment through the door and got myself stationed where I could capture the interior of the building and highlight the mountains of books inside. Now that I had gotten a good feel for the buildings in Lurelin, I decided to get back outside and get some shots of the fish market out in the water. Before I headed out on the dock though, I found a spot of inspiration and of course got myself set up. This was the first time I had put a treasure chest on top of the box to get a slightly higher angle, and I was loving the results. I then set back out onto the dock to get a shot of the fish market that was situated in the water. I just loved the details of the boat and sky together. So much so that I decided that one angle wasn't enough. I needed another one focusing more on just the boat itself. After a while, I brought in additional resources through my Guardian amiibo and stacked 3 metal boxes on top of each other over a coral reef in the water. All that was left was adding a treasure chest on the top of the 3 boxes carefully so that I had something to use to trick the in-game camera. Now I just needed to carefully climb onto the boxes and get into my spot. Thankfully, all that effort was worth it. So now I present to you Lurelin Village.